Have you ever had that feeling that something big was about to happen, but no one was talking openly about it? One of those situations that feels way too quiet to be just a rumor, with behind-the-scenes decisions capable of changing an entire season. Well, that's exactly the atmosphere right now at St. James Park. The transfer window kicked off with promises, advanced talks and high expectations. But in the last few days, an unexpected piece of news has poured cold water over the entire rebuilding plan Newcastle United was putting together. And honestly, the disappointment is massive. The target was ambitious, strategic, and had everything to be the headline signing for this new era. Since the end of last season, Newcastle's backroom team had been quietly working on bringing in an attacking reinforcement they'd been eyeing for years, a young, talented player, already proven in the Premier League, with immense potential to grow. He was seen as the perfect piece to complement Eddie Howe's attacking system. And here's the twist. This same player nearly joined the club 3 years ago. That move fell through at the last minute. Now, history looked set for a reunion, but instead, it ended in an even more frustrating way. Before we dive into this story that's shaking up the Toon fanbase, take a second to subscribe to the channel. Your subscription is really important to help our work grow and keep bringing you exclusive and reliable updates straight from the heart of Newcastle United. Hit the notification bell too, and come be a part of this amazing community that keeps getting bigger and better. Back to the deal. Newcastle's board moved behind the scenes and entered talks with Brighton. The target, Pedro, yes, the same Pedro who was so close to joining Newcastle back when he played for Watford. After establishing himself as a key figure at Brighton last season, he was now seen as the ideal reinforcement to strengthen the squad, not just for the Premier League, but also for a potential European campaign. According to sources like David Ornstein of The Athletic, the Magpies submitted a bid worth around £50 million, and everything pointed to the deal moving forward. But then, the unexpected twist: the same offer, same ambition. Completely different outcome. According to Ornstein's exclusive report, Chelsea jumped ahead and sealed a deal with Brighton for the exact same amount Newcastle offered. Pedro's preference for a move to London tipped the scales. Reports claim the Brazilian forward has already agreed to personal terms and is just days away from signing a 7-year contract with the Blues. His medical is already being scheduled. A swift, silent and crushing turn of events for Newcastle's transfer plans. And the twist gets even more painful. Fresh details reveal Pedro told Brighton he wanted to leave at the end of last season. A behind-the-scenes fallout saw him left out of the final matchday squad against Tottenham, speeding up his decision to move on. In other words, Newcastle knew he was available, they knew the player's mindset, and they acted. Yet somehow, they still lost the race. A tough blow, not just because of the lost player, but for what it signals in the transfer market. By the way, if you want to keep getting this type of exclusive insight, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. It helps us a lot and ensures you never miss any big updates about our beloved club. Just tap that subscribe button and join the Toon Army here on the channel. So now the big question is, how will Newcastle respond? Pedro wasn't just another name on the shortlist. He was a priority target because of his versatility, someone who could play centrally, as a second striker or even wide. That type of flexibility is exactly what Eddie Howe looks for in his attacking plans: movement, dynamism and adaptability. With Callum Wilson battling injuries and Isaac carrying much of the burden, signing a player like Pedro was seen as essential for the upcoming season. What makes this even more frustrating is the long history. Back in 2022, Pedro was just a step away from joining Newcastle. Everything had been agreed, terms settled, paperwork ready, but the deal collapsed at the last minute. 3 years later, the storyline seemed set for a happy ending, only to end in disappointment again. The source of this information is one of the most respected names in British sports journalism, David Ornstein from The Athletic. He confirmed that Chelsea have beaten Newcastle to the signing of Pedro, with the deal with Brighton already in its final stages. For the London club, this signing fits perfectly into their strategy to refresh the squad and strengthen their attack after an underwhelming season. And if you're feeling frustrated, you're not alone. Newcastle fans took to social media to express their anger, many saying the club should have moved quicker or pushed harder. Others pointed out that the emotional pull of living in London may have always been a deciding factor for Pedro. But is there still time for Newcastle to bounce back this window? Do the board already have a plan B lined up? One thing's for sure, the pressure has now increased. Fans are demanding a swift and impactful response. Because losing a direct target to a Premier League rival doesn't just hurt the squad, it hurts pride. And if you want to stay ahead of all the transfer updates, don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way, whenever there's breaking news about new signings, reinforcements or big club decisions, you'll be the first to know. Also, don't forget to like this video. It tells YouTube you enjoy this kind of content and helps more Toon fans find us. So here's the big question. With Pedro now out of the picture, who becomes Newcastle's #1 target? Behind the scenes, a few names are already being discussed, players with similar profiles, but the challenge now is to find someone who fits the system, is available in the market, and comes at a reasonable price, which, as we know, is no easy task at this point in the summer. Time is ticking, and decisions need to be spot on. The João Pedro setback was a wake-up call, and the board must act fast to avoid more frustration. With the Premier League season approaching and European plans still uncertain, every choice now will have a direct impact on next season's success. And the fans, as always, are watching closely, hoping for answers, signings, and a squad worthy of the passion that fills St. James Park. Now tell us in the comments, what did you think of this João Pedro twist? Do you think the club made a mistake in the negotiation? Or was the player's choice to go to Chelsea inevitable? We really want to hear your opinion, so drop it down below. Your voice helps us understand what the fans are feeling. If you've watched all the way through, thank you. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't yet, and share this video with other fans who want to stay up to date on everything Newcastle United. We don't just report the news, we live this club as passionately as you do. See you in the next video.